In the remote heart of the African wild, a lone lioness collapses beneath a stormy sky, fighting for her life and the tiny cubs inside her. Moments later, rangers race against time across the rugged plains, and what happens next becomes a miracle no one ever expected. At dawn, the savanna awoke in a wash of gold, and the wind moved softly through the tall grass, carrying the quiet legend of a lioness the rangers called Amara. She did not belong to a pride anymore. Seasons of drought and roaming predators had carved solitude into her life, yet she walked with the calm authority of a hidden queen. Her territory stretched across rocky ridges and fading watering holes, a kingdom earned through patience and scars. From the ridgetop tower, Malik, the senior ranger, watched her silhouette glide along the plain, every step measured, every pause deliberate. The cameras had followed her for years, but there was something different about her now. A slower rhythm, a deeper stillness, as if the land itself was holding its breath. To the team, Amara was more than data on a tracker. She was a story of survival written across the wild. None of them could guess that the days ahead would test that story in ways history would never forget. Beyond the horizon, destiny waited quietly, patient as the earth. Days passed as the seasons drifted across the grasslands, and the rangers began noticing subtle changes in Amara's routine. She no longer ranged far across the valley. Instead, she moved in slow arcs around the riverbed, resting beneath acacia shade for long hours, rising only to pace, circle, and settle again. Tracks in the sand showed deep impressions where she had dug shallow hollows, as if searching for a place the earth itself could shelter her. Malik reviewed the camera footage frame by frame, watching her pause before every step, her sides lifting with heavy breaths. A quiet unease crept through the control room. Lions did not behave like this unless something life-changing stirred within them. When the drone swept over her territory at dusk, its lens caught a glimpse that confirmed their fears and hopes at once. Her belly was larger than they had ever seen, rounded and tight with the promise of new life. Alone, without the safety of a pride, Amara would face motherhood in the wild, an ordeal few survived. The team understood that from this moment forward, every hour, every movement, and every storm could shape the fate of more than one life. Then, on a night when thunder rolled like distant drums, the skies opened and the world turned silver beneath the rain. The wind howled through the thorn trees while lightning stitched the horizon into bright, trembling scars. Amara moved slowly across the soaked plain, her body heavy, her breath staggered, each step a struggle against the storm. The tracker on her collar flickered across the ranger's monitor, first steady, then erratic, then suddenly still. Malik leaned forward, heart racing, as the blinking icon froze beside the river ridge. She was no longer moving. He radioed the team, and within minutes engines roared to life, headlights cutting through sheets of falling water. Every mile felt endless. The storm swallowed the road, and the darkness pressed against the windshield like a living thing. In the back seat, the field medic prepared supplies with shaking hands, knowing what stillness might mean for a lioness in labor. When they reached the ridge, the air smelled of rain and fear. There, beneath a twisted tree, Amara lay collapsed upon the trembling earth, her flanks heaving, the ground stained beneath her. The night held its breath, and in that fragile silence the battle for life had already begun. Rain streamed across the headlights as the rangers formed a wide protective circle around the fallen lioness. Malik knelt beside her, whispering softly while the vet, Dr. Hannah, unpacked sterile cloths and trembling instruments. Amara's breath came in shallow bursts, and every contraction shook her body against the soaked ground. The storm roared, yet within their ring of light the world felt painfully quiet. Dr. Hannah placed a gloved hand against the lioness's side, counting heartbeats, listening for the faint rhythm of life inside. A cub lay motionless near her hind legs, slick with rain and dust. Malik steadied his hands as he cleared the tiny nose and brushed away the mud. Behind them, another ranger watched the shadows, guarding against hyenas drawn by the storm. Minutes stretched into aching hours. The team worked without hesitation, guided by duty and something deeper, respect for the wild mother who had endured so much alone. When the cub twitched, the silence shattered into breathless hope. Dr. Hannah urged Amara gently, supporting her weakening frame while Malik shielded the newborn against the wind. They knew there was no turning back. Every decision, every heartbeat, balanced between despair and the fragile promise of survival tonight. In the wavering beam of the floodlight, a fragile moment unfolded. Amara's body trembled, then stilled, and for a heartbeat the world seemed to stop with her. Dr. Hannah pressed gently along her flank, coaxing one final contraction while Malik cradled the tiny cub against his chest. A thin gasp, yet Amara lay unmoving, eyes closed, strength fading. The vet massaged her ribs, urging breath back into her tired lungs, speaking softly, as if the lioness could understand every word. Seconds stretched, fragile and endless. Then Amara's ear flicked. Her chest rose. A low rumble tremored from deep within her throat. She turned her head, nudged the cub, and began to lick its damp fur with slow, patient strokes. The storm eased to a soft drizzle. Around them, the wild fell silent, honoring the miracle they had witnessed, the moment when life chose to stay, when courage and compassion met upon the open earth. For everyone present, the night would forever echo with fragile wonder and hope. Morning crept across the plains in soft amber light, washing the world clean after the storm. The team stepped back as the horizon brightened, giving the new mother space to rise. Amara stood slowly, legs trembling, yet her gaze burned steady with quiet strength. The cub nestled beside her, small but determined, pressing close to the warmth of her flank. Over the following weeks, the Rangers watched from a respectful distance, documenting every fragile milestone. The cub's steps grew surer, its curious nose lifting toward the wind, while Amara guided it across the grasslands with patient resolve. Word of the miracle spread beyond the reserve, calling scientists, conservationists, and ordinary dreamers who believed that life in the wild still carried untold wonders. Protective boundaries were strengthened, patrols increased, and Amara's territory became a sanctuary written into maps and memories. One golden evening, Malik stood atop